It's Happy Hour again from Uptown New Orleans. Hello, I'm Grant Morris. Happy Hour is part of the family of shows on the podcast network. It's neworleans.com. When you walk into a bar in New Orleans and you pull up a bar stool, you never know who's going to be sitting on either side of you. What you do know, though, is no matter what they look like, what they're wearing, whether they just got out of a limousine or just got out of jail, they're going to be happy to talk to you because that's New Orleans and this is Happy Hour, a cocktail-fueled 60 minutes of random conversation with people who have nothing in common. Other than we're all New Orleanians. Today we're in a bar called Wayfare on Ferret Street, which is about 2 blocks down from Napoleon Avenue toward Jefferson, which is almost open, by the way. Jefferson Avenue should be open any day. It's only been road worked on for about 5 years now. So come on down to Wayfare yourself. They have a 3-hour happy hour here every day from 3 to 6 where you can get half-price drinks and half-price bar food. Or just stick around here for the next hour and hang out with us. While we enjoy happy hour, everybody's looking at their phones. That's just how it goes these days. How it goes. It's just what it's like. Everyone goes out to lunch or out to dinner or out to drinks and stares at their own phone. The reason that everyone's doing that here is because we're on Facebook Live. And apparently the only way you can find this direct Facebook Live feed is if somehow you stumble on it. Is that right, Sherwood? Sherwood Collins
we share it enough.
Or we can share it with our friends.
Around, yeah.
Okay. Sherwood Collins is here. He's the founder of Beignet Fest.
Absolutely.
Which is a pretty unbelievable festival, which I had never heard of until today.
Until today?
Until today. And this is the second annual Beignet Fest coming up on October the 7th.
Correct.
2017.
Yep. Going to be at the festival grounds in City Park. So it's like I said, it's our second annual Beignet Fest. Last year we were in Lafayette Square and found out quickly that we were going to outgrow that space. We were just
Are you serious?
Yeah. Serious.
The first year.
I actually attended Beignet Fest last year. And
Sherri Montz is here.
Yeah. It was a little long on the waits on the beignets for the special ones, but we got through it. I had plenty to choose from.
So the first year you did this, it was already sold out in a huge festival.
Absolutely. It was.
Wow,
we
that
were
is
definitely
crazy.
Overwhelmed.
So are you like a genius organizer of festivals, or can anyone just start any festival in New Orleans?
There are a lot of details that you have to go through.
How did you know what to do?
Well, it goes back. I met my wife about 10 years ago working Wednesdays at the Square. She was the executive director of the Young Leadership Council at the time.
Okay, what's her name?
Her name is Amy Boyle.
Amy Boyle.
And I made her Amy Boyle Collins.
Okay, so how long were you hanging out with her before she agreed to marry you?
About 6 months. Maybe a year.
And that's how you found out how to put on a festival? By he had to marry someone?
To an extent. But
couldn't you just dated her for a year and got it all out of her and then moved on?
Well, I could, but she was really cool, so I decided to stick with her.
And is she helping you? Is she part of Beignet Fest?
She is. She is definitely the partner, and she makes sure that I am on schedule. And
okay, so how come you're doing this interview and she's not here?
Because I am the person who does it. She has another full-time job.
What does she do besides
She works in PR at Gamble Communications. She's the vice president of Gamble Communications.
Oh, that's your wife.
Yes,
that's
exactly.
not the vice president of Gamble Communications. That's my wife. Okay,
yes.
I know her. All right, that's good. Now, are you guys a couple as well?
No.
No. This is Sherri Montz and Scott Frilo, who are collectively known as Ginger and the Bee.
Yes.
Now, I suppose you're Ginger, Scott, because you have a red beard.
Thank you for understanding that that's how that works.
Oh, really?
Everybody gets that.
Is there some sort of other interpretation?
Well, Ginger being her,
yeah.
I guess they...
From the
it's a
Gilligan's
girl's
Island
name.
theme or something.
Right.
They always think that I'm
see.
You
Ginger.
have red hair. You have purple.
I do not have red hair.
You don't, and you don't have purple hair. Oh, you do have a little bit of purple hair.
I do
Thank
have a
God
little,
I saw that. Alison Moon is here as well.
Yes.
Who, if you've ever seen the show or listened to it before, you'll know is our photographer and associate producer.
Yes, it's weird being on this end of the microphone.
How do you like it? I never, ever thought we'd convince you to come on.
I know.
After years of you saying, no, I'm not doing it.
I like staying behind the camera.
I know. Finally convinced you to do it.
Yes.
What was it, drinking or alcohol?
Well, it's the alter ego of LouisianaLegs. I've got to start touting my business
So this
now,
is a practice run at how to sell LouisianaLegs, which
Yes.
is the clothes you're wearing.
Yes.
Which
it
you
is,
make and design.
Yes.
Well, the
so
way
it's
around.
leggings and tops and capris that are designed with photography because I'm a photographer.
Right.
So I like this example is a picture of a boiled crawfish, but I also have like Mardi Gras bead designs. Another one where it's like a saint's legging, but it's actually a photo of a graveyard, a cemetery actually in the Upper Ninth Ward that I kind of twiked around with, and it's gold and has fleur-de-lis on it.
So this is, what would you call it? Is this yoga clothes or workout clothes?
Yeah, it's
or
yoga
what?
clothes. Well, you can use it for all types of working out. I actually use the tops too as bathing suit tops, but yoga, running, Anything that's athletic, you can wear them.
So you take photos because you're a photographer, and then somehow you transfer the photo onto these clothes.
Yes,
Okay.
I go through this printing company where they print out on the leggings and then hand sew them.
Is that in China?
No, it's not in China. It's actually in Canada.
In Canada, of
Yeah.
all places. Really? Why did you choose Canada?
Because they were the ones that had the printer. There's not many printers out there that can print on clothes, on fabric.
Sherwood knows something about it because he used to work at Pearless.
Yes.
Oh.
And so, and that was, we, you know, in going through and getting different manufacturers of stuff, like there was one manufacturer I used for rugby shirts that actually, like, had their own mill in Canada.
So when you say I use rugby shirts, you had rugby shirts made as part of your job at Pearless?
Yes, I did.
What were you doing at Pearless? I thought you were the guy that just like sold clothes there.
I was a manager, but I also, you know, tried and dabbled. You know, I also helped like buy the ties that they had, and I also ran the custom clothing department for them for a couple years. So,
you guys have been in Pearless? Are you from here, you two?
I am
Yes.
from here, yes.
Okay, so you know all about Pearless.
I don't know.
It's the place to buy the collared shirts, right?
Exactly, the polos.
Yeah, they have like polo shirts with crawfish on them or something.
Exactly. Yeah.
Sort of
Is
like
it the
Alice,
ties?
it's only one lame
Yeah.
ass
Ties
crawfish.
as well.
And
I
they've
like
got
the
ties.
ties. The ties are fun.
Yeah? So you guys have never been in Pearless and you've lived here your whole lives?
No. Where is that?
It's on Magazine Street. It's Magazine and Webster, in between State and Henry Clay. So it's kind of near Audubon Park on Magazine Street. So,
And you've never heard of it even?
I mean,
He
I
doesn't
know the
look like he
store.
wears ties.
Yeah, the store with the crawfish shirt.
You've
Yeah.
seen
Sounds
those.
familiar.
Hey, here's April
that's it,
Stolf, who was sitting in for me last week. April, thank you so much. Did you see that show? April did an awesome job. And now and now everyone's moved around when I'm back here. And now Alison is on the show, and so now April has to take photos. This is a really interesting crew we've got here. Everyone can do everything. It's real New Orleans setup.
Yes.
So you were working at Pearless selling
Yeah.
men's suits, and you've never been. Where did you grow up? What part of the city, Scott?
Metairie.
In Metairie.
That's why I don't know what that is. Yeah.
It's an extraordinarily preppy uptown store.
Very,
That you could
very,
walk in there and you would not be able to find one thing that you would wear in there.
Probably not.
I don't think I've ever seen Scott in anything other than his uniform of t-shirts,
T-shirts and jeans. But you guys are not a couple.
No.
Are you a couple with other people?
Yes.
He's married. I'm
Yeah.
in between things.
In between things?
Yes. Yep.
in between.
In between whom?
Well, I was married at once upon a time. No longer married, but we're still really great friends. And
How'd you pull that off?
you know, we really enjoy each other as people, but I think we just weren't meant to share our lives together in that way. So
Well, what
we understood
is
that
it?
early on.
Really? Did you?
Well, I mean, about 4
can't-
years into it. So.
What is the stumbling block at that point? If you're such great friends, what stops you from being
well,
in love with each other?
So I'm a very artsy person. I spend a lot of time doing things that equal 0 from purple, Y, and 12. And he's a programmer, so you know.
Hang on a
it's
sec. Did you follow any of that?
That's
Sure.
right.
You do what?
Yeah.
What? Say that again.
So I don't think in linear patterns. I think very
Okay. All right.
trying.
Abstract?
Yes, very abstract.
Abstract.
yes.
And your husband is a super linear thinker because he's a computer programmer.
My ex-husband is a
ex-husband, sorry.
programmer, yeah.
So that you would think would be complementary.
It was at some points, but there were some things that we just couldn't get past. So
So what does he think about you? Why can't he live with you? 'Cause you're too
I was
crazy?
really messy, honestly.
Messy.
I mean, I'll be real about it. I'm a messy person.
Is that all it is, though? But you can tidy up.
It should.
Does that impede a marriage, really? Seriously? Being messy?
It might. I don't know.
Well, did it? Was that the big problem?
I mean, that was part of it. Yes, you know.
Because I'm trying to figure out if you really can get along with someone and you're such great friends and you can be friends outside of, and you've already married him, you think, wouldn't you, that you
I've
could...
lost friends because I'm a neat freak, and I've tried to be roommates with them before, and it has ended friendships that way.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Because you're too...
I'm a neat freak, yeah. I like everything to be spotless, and if they don't do their dishes right away, then I'm like,
You feel angry.
yes.
And have you tried to get over that? And realized, hey, it's only dishes. Maybe I could just let that slide because they have a lot of other
it's
good
not
qualities.
just like that. If I say like they don't do their dishes, then they're like not doing their dishes. They're not like picking up their clothes on the floor or like leaving the bathroom in disarray. It's always not just like one thing about it. It's like everything. And when you're like trying to live in a house if I was a little bit, say, maybe more relaxed, like I am with my current roommate, we've met in a nice little happy medium zone. To where, like, okay, I don't freak out over, like, one dish in the sink, but she doesn't, like, leave a week's worth of dishes in the sink.
And then what do they think about you, these people who you're no longer friends with? They think you're OCD and crazy?
I don't want to ask.
But do they think you're OCD and uptight? And
probably. I haven't asked them, but they probably do, yeah.
Right.
They wouldn't tell me that to my face, I don't think.
Right. Well, you're not talking to them anymore.
Yeah.
Because they're slobs.
But to them, they aren't slobs. We're
just people like everybody else.
Are you still messy, Sherri? Now do you live by yourself now?
I do live by myself. I'm still relatively messy. I did go through the whole The Magical Art of Tidying. It's a book by some Japanese home organizer.
I read that book.
Yes, and I got rid of about half of my personal belongings, and it still just wasn't enough for me to keep it contained.
Well, I heard her on NPR, that woman, I think. She says you should throw anything away that you haven't touched in the last 6 minutes.
It's anything that doesn't bring you joy. So if it doesn't bring you joy, you have to throw it away. And if it is something that has brought you a lot of joy and has outlived its lifespan, you should thank it for its service to you, and then
I would love to get rid of my checkbook. Is that involved?
Yeah.
Can you just throw that away?
I mean, according to this philosophy, it sounds like if it doesn't bring you joy, you can just go ahead and toss it. So
I assume they don't. Could you use that as a defense for not writing checks? I threw my checkbook away because it's just pissing me off.
You could just PayPal it.
Yeah.
Okay. And so
so
you threw away half your stuff.
Yes, I did.
And that didn't work out.
And then I bought more stuff, so it doesn't really matter.
Well, how are you making all this money from the rock and roll business?
No.
What are you doing besides that?
So I work at a company in town, Interlocks. I sell conveyor belts. I'm in the marketing department.
Interlocks?
Interlocks, yes.
How do you
Latrum, yes.
Oh, Latrum. You know something about that? I bet they shop at Pearls.
I'm not too sure, but it's going back to my wife, who was the executive director of the YLC. They honored Mr. Latrum a couple years ago as one of the role models in the city, and he started with a shrimp peeling machine.
That is correct.
And has grown to like hundreds of patents, and it's conveyor belts and all kinds of other little things.
He knows half of the Kool-Aid, and he doesn't even work there, so that's kind of good.
Well, I bet you sold him a few suits, right?
If he came in, I would, sure.
And he invented the shrimp peeling machine.
Yeah.
Well, how do you happen to know that?
I I met him through this thing, and it's really
through what string? Through Beignet Fest.
Through Beignet Fest, and through my wife in the Young Leadership Council.
So do you think if you hadn't met your wife, is it Amy? Is it Amy?
Yeah.
Think if you hadn't met her, you would be doing any of this, or she's changed your life?
She helped me along. That was kind of we met doing the Wednesdays at the Square, and it came to a point where she could either hire me. And so I put in my...
Did you quit your job?
No, I was kind of working 2 part-time jobs. I was kind of working there, which I was on contract, and working at Perlis part-time, and put in my resume, and they ended up hiring somebody else. But we started dating.
Your wife hired somebody else?
She hired somebody else, which saved our relationship, more or less.
Well, that's weird.
Exactly.
Aren't you working together on Beignet Fest?
Yes, and so she's kind of...
Well, how did it save your relationship then?
Well, because, and I found out, if I had to have worked for her, directly for her, it could have been a little
awkward,
a little tense, and a little awkward and intense.
Why is she like a hard ass boss?
She's very particular about the way things are done, very organized. Putting everything together.
What's the dishes in the sink department for her?
Dishes in the sink. We kind of get to them when we get to them,
she's not as bad as Alison.
No, and so that's kind of the thing. One of the and I guess here's the thing to fasten on my wife, if we will. One of the things that kind of tuned me into this is somebody that's really special. As I was in a place, this was like 2007, it's kind of right after the storm. I had just had kind of like a bad relationship end, and
how'd that one end?
That one ended by it was to an extent a disagreement in philosophies about relationships. So the other person that I was dating is like, every person has to have somebody else in their life. That's just the way it is. They're just meant to be together. Okay. And I was at a place where, you have to be fine with who you are. You have to be comfortable. You have to be and know that you are complete. You don't need anybody else to complete you. And so when you find somebody who's lucky enough and who's comfortable with where you are, but you have fun with them and you can interact with them and have a conversation with them and find that they compliment you well, then that's...
So I'm
what's worth
hearing
it.
that she thought she'd already met you, that you were the man she was looking for. You were her life
well,
partner,
it was
and
to
you
an
didn't
extent.
think so.
It was one night we were out at DBA, and she had some coworkers, and she's like, these girls, they're so worried about what this boy thinks or what not, And she's like, I'm to a place in my life. I don't care if I don't need to marry anybody. I'm fine with who I am. I'm perfect. If you like me, great. If not, that's fine too. And I was like, that sounds what I'm kind of looking for. It's kind of like just to know that they're firm in who they are. And so we were able to come together and
Now, who are we talking about? The person saying this at DBA, is this your current wife or
Yes.
the ex?
No, this is my current wife.
Oh, I see. I thought you were talking
the
about...
other person that I left was like desperate to find somebody. And
But she'd already
needed
found
somebody.
you.
And she found me, but it wasn't.
She wasn't the one that you were looking for.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but
and
he
she didn't
was.
agree with that,
No.
the last person. What
Yeah.
happened to her?
I think she found somebody else and had a couple of kids and is doing fine, as far as I know.
So you were
So-
right about that.
Yeah.
It wasn't you.
Nope, it wasn't
Okay.
me. So.
All right. Very good. Okay, so what about the rock and roll business? You guys, did that have anything to do with your marriage ending? Hanging out all night with Scott Frilo?
Well, so I actually didn't
Handsome,
meet. I didn't
red-headed
meet Scott.
devil.
I met him toward the end of my relationship with Will. But I was hanging out. I was going to Tuesday night karaoke. I was staying out
night
late.
karaoke?
Yeah,
There's gotta be a
rock and roll
story.
karaoke
By yourself?
Yeah, right. So I mean,
What?
I would be out all. I had a lot of extracurricular activities. So I played roller derby for Big Easy Roller Girls, and I was hanging out at
Do you
night at
still
bars.
roller derby?
I do not. I'm retired. I might return soon as a trainer. I just
Oh.
haven't been able to squeeze it into my schedule. But I know that those girls are. I love them, and
What
I
was
want to
your
help
name?
them.
What was your role?
Beatrix Skiddo.
Ooh.
Beatrix what?
Skiddo, the
Skiddo.
Kill Bill reference. Hence
Skiddo.
Skiddo, yes.
That's
and
the
so
B. The B.
That's where the B comes from in Ginger and the B.
Oh,
So,
B is for
yeah.
Beatrix, which is your
I never had a
roller
nickname
derby.
growing up, and when I started roller derby, I then created this alter ego for myself, and then from that, I got a multitude of nicknames from B Skiddo, B Skiddy, Skittles, all the different things that you could do with B, they decided to do. So I just, even my former in-laws called me B. They felt uncomfortable calling me by my real name. So there's a certain part of the city downtown that knows me as B.
So that's a whole
Just B.
alter ego.
What's that?
It's a whole alter
Oh yeah,
ego.
absolutely. I
Is
know
she
when I've
different?
met certain people in my life based on if they call me Sherri or if they call me B.
What do you like
So-
being called, or just that you have different?
It depends. If I know you from roller derby and you call me Sherri, I might
It's weird.
step back a little bit.
Is B different from Sherri? Is it two different people?
It was at some point, I think, but I think Sherri has grown up a little bit to be more like B. She's
Okay.
grown into herself
So
and
B was
figured
a-
out what she wants to be.
Was B
So
was B angry and likes to hit people in roller derby?
B loved to hit people in roller derby. Yes,
Right.
always generally a little
Right.
angry, as it says on the back of our T-shirts.
Does it? Are you wearing one of your own
No,
T-shirts?
No.
I didn't. I
What
didn't
is-
self-promote today.
What does your T-shirt say?
So we have the definition of ginger on the back, which is you wrote the
Redhead
definition.
and I don't remember.
Soulless.
Soulless, yeah.
Soulless.
Soulless.
What? You're soulless,
Yeah,
Scott.
gingers don't have
Is
souls.
that the
They
Webster
collect
Dictionary
souls.
definition?
It's half and half.
Part of it.
People with red hair don't have a soul. They
don't.
collect souls.
They collect souls.
And where do they collect them from? Other
I
people?
usually people seem to think that that's what freckles are, the
Okay.
souls that I've collected.
Oh, wow.
So I'll just go with that. But
And
I
is
feel
that
like
sort of a vampiric thing that you're stealing other people's living people's souls?
they don't know it. I don't think.
Okay.
He's slowly stealing my soul right
I'm
now.
just
I
wondering.
No, it's all right. All
can't
right,
believe
right
you
around
made
now.
me sit next to him.
Where did that come from?
I don't know.
You've never looked that up in your whole life?
I actually saw it on a South Park episode. I never went back in
Okay.
time
Oh,
to
well, it
find
must
it.
be
So
true. I didn't realize it was on
I didn't
South
go
Park.
back and fact check that or anything
You've never
like that.
thought about looking that up?
No, I never.
It's from that viral video.
C-Rock.
Yeah, you know that little kid? He's like,
Oh, I've seen that kid.
gingers do have souls.
I've seen him.
And then South Park made fun of that.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
I never went back
Good
to
man,
that kid.
C-Rock. So where did it come from, C-Rock and the original? This is our fact checker over here.
Well, there was like gingers were getting like bullied a bunch.
Yeah.
In like the mid 2000s. I don't know why. I think
it's a
that,
red hair thing.
Yeah, that arose naturally.
I feel like it would stem, but before that, though, like hundreds of years ago, there might be a superstition out there about gingers are stealing your soul.
If there isn't, there is now.
Yeah.
If C-Rock will find it for us in the
I'll
next
take a look,
couple
yeah.
of minutes. Yeah, for sure. So that's pretty interesting. So how did you guys? So you were the two people,
Yes.
Beatrix Skiddo.
Yep.
And Sherri Montz. What sort of name is Montz? Is this a well-known New Orleans
It's a
name?
German Gramercy roots. You know, in
So you're from
Louisiana, it's from
Gramercy,
Gramercy.
up from by La Place
My
then?
grandfather is, but my family. I grew up between Kenner and Harahan as a kid. So
What is between Kenner and Harahan? It's a Scandinavian
Well, I was-
furniture store.
exactly.
Is that where you were?
Well, my parents were divorced, so I would spend
Oh, I
half my
see.
time in Kenner, half my time in Harahan. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
And how are they friends?
You know, they actually maintained a pretty stable relationship, and they said it was for the benefit of me as a
So you're
kid
the
growing
only
up.
kid?
Yeah, I am.
And
Yes.
how old were you when they got divorced? It's like a
I don't even remember. I
So
know I'm
you're
not that
pretty-
interesting.
you're
Everyone else
pretty-
around this table has.
You're pretty young.
Yes.
I think it's pretty interesting to have an alter
Yeah.
ego. I bet everybody would like to have
Yeah.
a second.
I don't know. I have a tough time managing my first, so I don't know if I could do a second.
What are you doing besides
This?
singing in a band?
I do social media. So as my kid puts it, you play on Facebook all day. So that's basically what
That's
I do.
what you do, really?
All day.
And you get paid for that by
I
various
do.
And
And I
who
get health
hire-
insurance for it.
You get health insurance?
Yeah.
Hey, bet
It's a real job.
Look, Allison's looking excited.
Well, yeah, because I'm having to figure out my own social media right now, and I'm terrible at it.
It's yeah. It's a pretty good thing.
Who are you working for?
I work for New Orleans Original Daiquiris, so all their local places and all the ones around the country.
Oh, wow.
And I do.
Is this the greatest job of all time?
It is.
You get to do social media for a daiquiri
Daiquiri
shop.
company.
I do. I do.
I tried to recruit him to sell conveyor belts, and he just wasn't interested.
No,
I actually work across the lake. I drive back and forth across the lake every day, and it's.
You live across the lake.
Nope. I live here. I live in Metairie.
Why do you have to drive anywhere if you're...
Well, because I got to be in an office. It's an office setting situation.
Oh, I thought you could do that from your home or...
I could. I mean, and I do, but I think to be able to get the health insurance, they want me in an office.
They want to know that you're actually working.
Yeah.
So what do you actually do?
I take pictures and post pictures and comment on pictures and
He's also a really great graphic designer.
I do that stuff too.
Okay.
And I do their website. So
So you know something about the
the
back
World
end
Wide
of,
Web. Yeah.
back
yeah.
end of the World Wide Web.
Right,
Okay.
right.
And
So-
how did you learn that in school, or did you just...
Fell into it. I just
For real?
Yeah.
How does everybody else have a job like this? Exactly. Sherwood,
It took
you know
me a
that?
long time to do
Yeah,
it. It
how-
didn't take me.
You don't look old enough to be young enough. I mean, actually, to be like that
What do you
little
mean?
social media. Because like you would imagine, like when
Like a
you
little-
say
like
social
C-Rock.
media, yeah, like a little person who's like
Are you
just out
saying
of
that the
college.
white in my beard possibly indicates age? Is that what you're saying?
Possibly.
It's wisdom, and it's where the colors stopped for whatever
Those are
reason.
actually some of the other souls. Too.
More
Oh,
salt.
it's more souls.
More souls. No, a friend of mine's like, hey, you're pretty funny. Why don't you come work for us? I'm like, all right. Fair
What
enough.
did you do before that?
I did that. That's what I did before that. I did web design,
Oh, web design,
and
okay.
graphic design and some social media. Like the dawn of that Facebook, Twitter era. I mean,
And what's the definition of success when you're a social media person? What are you looking to do each day?
what is my definition of success?
Yeah, I mean, what are they looking for you before they're going to say, hey, Scott, it seems like we're paying your health insurance and all this money, and what the fuck is actually going on in that office?
It's okay. I don't know.
Well, what do you want to see each day? Like a number of people liking you? Or?
I think it's a positive image of the company, and like we sell stuff too, so they want web sales from our website, and I also maintain the website too, so there's probably that.
Right.
And then so
What do you sell, actually?
we sell daiquiri mixes.
Daiquiri mix.
Yeah. Why?
That sounds like
A lot of
You know
people-
what we have?
See?
You should go into business with these guys who are our sponsors, Hangover Destroyer. Do you know about Hangover Destroyer?
I don't.
Would you like me to tell you a
I
little
would
bit about it?
love to know about that.
Well, let me
'cause
tell you something about Hangover Destroyer. Hangover Destroyer is the only all-natural product that's medically proven, and I stress that, medically proven,
Medically proven.
to prevent a hangover.
Is that so before you take this before or after?
Yep. If you go to the Hangover Destroyer website, you can take it before, during, and after drinking. And you write happy hour in the coupon code there. The website's called hdestroyer.com. You should check it out. As a professional web designer and so on, you might be very interested in their website.
I also might be interested in their
And
hangover, their product.
You could totally take some of these with you right now and try them out. And maybe you can give them away with a daiquiri mix.
That's it.
How cool would that be to get a whole
pairing?
box of daiquiri mix in the mail, and you get some Hangover Destroyer with it?
I feel like that's a match made in heaven.
It could be. Well, help yourself take some. They'd be very happy to Hangover Destroyer to know that we'd hook them up with the daiquiri mix people. Anyway, if you're listening to this or watching this on Facebook and you want to go check it out, go to hdestroyer.com, write happy hour on the coupon code and get 30% off of Hangover Destroyer. And you too can seize the dawn. I think we worked that in there pretty good, don't you?
Hey, I got to interrupt your little Hangover Destroyer pitch to read you
Thomas
something
is here.
wild about gingers.
Oh, here we go.
No, I don't want to fact check with this. I'm going with this information as if it's truth. Garrett actually found this. The following comes from Montaigne Summers' book, The Vampire, His Kith and Kin, from 1928. Red was the color of the hair of Judas Iscariot and of Cain. And
Judas Iscariot?
Yeah, it's the guy.
That's the guy who was
Thank
to
you for my
betray
language.
Jesus.
That's right. And I have not met with the following tradition save orally, but is believed in Serbia, Bulgaria, and Romania that there are certain red-polled vampires who are called children of Judas, and that these, the foulest of the foul, kill their victim with one bite, or kiss, which drains the blood as if it were a single draught. The poisoned flesh of the victim is wounded with the devil stigmata, 3 hideous scars shaped thus, XXX, signifying the 30 pieces of silver, the price of blood.
Wow. Okay. So
That is rich.
Let's go back.
Wow.
very nice. Congratulations.
I'm gonna have to talk to the
There's your
supreme
new
being on
alter
that
ego.
one.
Thomas, thank you for that. That was pretty interesting. So Judas, who betrayed Jesus, was a redhead.
I didn't know that.
I don't know that. Did you know that? Are
Who
you
did?
I've never heard anything like it. Do you have any
crazy.
religious upbringing, Sherwood?
I do have religious upbringing.
What school did
So,
you go to, like
I did,
Jesuit
well,
or something?
No, I went to public school. I grew up in Houma. But my parents were both Christian Scientists.
Christian scientists. That's
Yes.
like an oxymoron.
To an extent.
What
It's,
exactly is a Christian scientist?
Fun.
Have you had to explain this before? I guess
Oh,
not.
yeah. Especially because the college that I went to was for Christian Scientists. And so Christian Science was more or less discovered.
Is this like the Christian Science Monitor?
Yes.
The newspaper? It's
exactly.
the same people. Okay.
It's the same people. So it was a lady, Mary Baker Eddy, who was raised by Calvinists and who had a very bad fall, but through prayer was able to heal herself. And so she did more and more study of the Bible and ended up writing a book, Science and Health, with Key to the Scriptures. And through that, she was able to, she sort of created what she called the system of healing, through prayer, of being able to heal through prayerful study.
Okay.
And so, and the way she did it is more or less with a scientific method. And it was based on, if God is all, then, anything that, and if God is good, then anything that tries to hurt us isn't really real. And it's a very condensed version
Okay,
of what
so
it
what
is.
is the basic tenet of the Christian Science religion is that you can believe in the power of prayer, which is kind of what all religion is
yeah.
based on, I think.
There aren't any
Exactly.
gingers in that, are there?
No. And that's the thing too, is she calls God Father, Mother God, because if God is a creator, it's neutral gender, so it's father
Right.
and mother, so it's father and mother.
So it's pretty advanced. It was a transgender God before there was even...
To an extent, or is it gender neutral? So yeah, it's just it's kind of like a
you said
unit.
ginger.
Kind of
Gender neutral?
That's what I thought you said.
Oh, sorry. So it's
Christians-
gender neutral.
So did you leave
That's
all
it.
that behind, or you still believe it?
I'm kind of in between. It's been challenging. One of the things, and part of the reason why I started the festival is because my oldest son is autistic, and he's about 7 years old.
Okay.
And it was hard coming to grips with that, and being able to raise him and get him services that he needed, and at the same time trying to come to grips with the religion and sort of the tenets that it has of.
Are you supposed to be able to? Are you supposed to be able to pray autism away?
And see, that's to an extent, that's kind of the thing that I've been, struggling with is just it is who he is,
right.
And that's who my son is, and that's just the the characteristics that he has and how
right.
he lives and what he deals with day in and day out. But if you think that we're all created in the image and likeness of God spiritually. And to an extent, that's kind of what we put into the mission statement for our foundation is that, trying to see these kids who have development delays, that they are whole beings, that they're purposeful, that there's not necessarily anything that's, they may have difficulties in other things, but it's not something that can hold them back.
Well, is it more difficult for him or for you?
It's kind of a little of both. I think there are times when he may want to convey something, but he can't. And there are definitely times where he does a thing called stimming, where he just kind of, will shake his arms and he kind of makes his guttural, like feral cat sound, as my wife and I call it. And he just gets overstimulated. It's overstimulation.
Okay.
It's kind of, I'm really excited or something, I'm just really, really excited and I can't control myself, and so I just have to let it out. And it's just something...
It's kind of cool, actually.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
And it's just something that he has, and so
right.
I've been, kind of figuring my way of, seeing him for who he is and loving him for who he is.
But how
and
does this play into Christian Science?
How does it play into Christian Science? Well, I haven't. It's not necessarily something I feel I have to pray about.
Right.
But it's going into, using using the basis for Christian prayer. You kind of start with God is all, omnipotent God, all creative, and so it's a creationist religion, and I've had some, recently I've had some issues with God being an all-in-all creator, and so I'm to my extent, personally, I'm kind of dealing with it and trying to figure it out.
Are you supposed to not believe in evolution if you believe in Christian Science? Is that what you're saying? Is that what creationism is? I mean, it's what creationism.
Yeah.
So that's the basis of Christian Science.
Yeah.
It's a Christian science.
Science, yes. It's taking the Bible and the teachings from the Bible and using it.
Are they some of these people who believe we've only been here for 6,000 years or something? I know you're not a spokesperson for the church or anything, but...
Yeah,
do you know anything about this, Scott?
Do I think about that?
Do you know anything about this?
Probably not as... No, not really.
I thought I know, you might know something about it.
Is it the red hair? No, I don't. No.
Sherri, you know anything about religion?
I was raised Catholic.
Yeah, I was
most
raised
people
Catholic.
in
I went
Europe,
to Catholic school all my life. And
what school did you go to?
I went to grammar school. I went to St. Anne, but for high school, I went to Brother Martin.
Okay.
And
where'd you go, Sherri?
I was at St. Rita and Ursuline Academy.
Okay. And what about you, Alison? You went to school in Lafayette.
Yes, I went to Acadiana High.
Acadiana High, that doesn't sound too religious.
No, it was a public school.
Did you have any religious upbringing in Lafayette?
I was raised Catholic.
So you guys are all you were Christian Science.
It's South Louisiana. South Louisiana is very Catholic.
What do you do now? Did you leave that all behind, or are you still?
Yeah, I don't really cling to it at all anymore. I think the church just teaches. It likes to say that it's kind and everything, but there's a lot of hate there, and if you don't fit in with our beliefs, then you don't belong. So I kind of left that in high school.
What is it about their beliefs that you don't agree with? Which bit?
Just like they preach acceptance, but then they really don't accept people that believe any differently from they do. I've seen religion do a lot of good things, but then on the other hand, like there's been a lot of bad things that come from it too. So it's just, I think it's time that as human beings we should take responsibility for defining our own morality outside of religion. I think religion is like a crutch of trying to define morality, and if you don't quite agree with this specific God, then you're wrong and you deserve to die type of mentality that we see from a lot of, we've seen it
Do you
from
believe
Christianity.
that's what people in the Catholic Church believes? If you don't believe the same thing, you believe you deserve to die?
I think they used to, I don't think they
Not
do it as
used
much
to today.
anymore, but like if you look at like Spanish Inquisition and other things
When
like
was that? It was in the 10th century, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't that long ago.
I have no idea when it was. Do
It
you?
wasn't that long ago. It was maybe like, I can't, I'm not a history major. I don't remember. But Spanish Inquisition
idea.
was around the same time that they were discovering America. So not 1,000 years ago, more, I think like 400 years ago. Not
That's
that
all
far.
it was, really.
1478.
1478, thank you,
Yeah.
Sierra. And that was,
There we
and
go.
There was
what
such a
was the
device.
Spanish Inquisition exactly, other than the Monty Python?
Where if you
version.
weren't a good, devout Catholic, they were trying to stem out the Jews.
Oh, really?
Yeah, if
Everybody
you
wants
were-
to kill Jews, though.
Yeah, so
That's
exactly.
worldwide. But that wasn't here in America.
No,
That
but
wasn't-
America's had the like Salem witch trials. Everywhere's
That's
had
true.
it. Every religion has done its fair share of killing.
Yeah. I guess every religion hates every other religion.
Yeah.
What about the Christian Science people? They're not trying to kill anyone, are they?
No, and that's kind of one of the other things that they have in the religion is they use synonyms for God, and one of the synonyms is love, and so that's kind of the one thing that I kind of hang on is just God is love, and so when you express love, that's expressing godliness, and it's compassion, it's charity, it's just appreciation and affection.
beignets.
It's beignets for sure, because who doesn't
Beignets
love
is
God?
love.
For sure.
So that's
Sounds
what,
like a T-shirt.
So that's what
Beignets is
propelled
love.
you towards doing Beignet Fest, was having a kid who's autistic and your spiritual beliefs that you could do some good in the world and give some money to
Yeah.
some causes. That's pretty
Absolutely.
cool. It's also a very compelling sales pitch, I would think, when you're going out to... 'cause
Yeah.
I looked on your website before we came on today, and there's a huge number of sponsors behind this thing.
There is.
You must be pretty good at raising money.
Well, yeah, and that's again going back to my wife. That's kind of her niche is
I wish
doing
she'd come
fundraising.
down here today, this wife. She sounds awesome.
She's incredible. You'll have to
We
bring
should
her
have
on.
had her on the show instead.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, so she, it's
So she's raising all this money for you.
she's raising a fair amount of it. Yes.
What are you doing
So,
exactly? You're trying out the beignets?
I'm doing the logistics. I'm making sure that we have a stage and generators and grease traps, and all the food vendors have all their, paperwork turned in, and that we have people who are able to set up, and that we have,
Are you
Coke.
it?
And
Are you doing this by yourself?
I am the full-time employee, so we do have some different volunteers who are helping us out, but I'm really like the day-to-day operations all falls on me.
It's a pretty big deal for one guy.
So what kind of beignets are we going to be seeing at this fest?
Ooh, there are a bunch. We've got like 20 different kinds of beignets. We've got everything
What's
from
your
a
favorite?
hamburger. Ooh, it's hard because that was the last thing. Is like, what was your favorite beignet from last year? We were so busy last year. We did not try one. We were just running around like crazy.
So how do I
and
get to be in the Beignet Fest? If I make beignets, I can just get in without you trying them?
Yeah, well, if you're a food vendor and you agree to all the stuff that we have a pretty stringent agreement.
But there's a pretty low bar to entry if you're not even
Listen.
trying them.
Exactly, but it's
Okay. Well, that's
as
good
long
to
as
know
you
for
make
next year.
Yeah, as long as you make beignets and they're good. But I mean, we've got people.
How do you know they're good if you're not trying them? I can make... How much is a
Well,
beignet?
I think
Well,
if people are
afterwards,
eating
yeah.
them, they're probably good.
Exactly, and when you hear people like,
Alison, you and I could get and do a beignet for $5. How it doesn't matter how bad it is once we've sold it. We won't get asked back next year, but so what?
Have you been to like a taste testing
No.
festival like that where you're like, okay, don't like people talk
they
to
talk
people.
quickly.
They'd be like, don't go,
Yes.
don't go
Don't
get this
eat-
one, go get this one.
Okay.
Oh, you
Yeah.
really need to try. And
Go
so
try
that
this
was-
one. This one's the best. Yes, wait in line for an hour for this one.
Okay.
Don't waste your
Yeah.
time waiting in line for that one.
Okay,
People
so
talk
we
at
wouldn't
these
get away with it.
festivals.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
Sherwood, who gave the awards? What was like the judging committee like for Beignet Fest last year? Because I'm seeing all these winners on the website. website.
Yeah, so the judging committee, it was done, there was a social media aspects that I think we did through Instagram with the help of Babes from Beignets and Kenny Lopez. And we had the best, I think, non-traditional beignet, which was Cafe Maspero, that do like a beignet figure. It's just kind of a longer beignet.
Yeah, that was the most innovative beignet.
Most innovative
beignet
What
from
was
Cafe
on, like,
Maspero.
was there
You ever
anything
walk
on the
past that
beignet
place in the
finger?
French Quarter?
And just powdered sugar on that
Okay.
one. They also have the best savory beignet is the Howlin' Wolf. They do a bacon cheddar beignet with a crema chipotle sauce on it. Or chipotle crema, sorry.
Okay. Is that
And
sweet?
so they do that. And that's kind
Savory.
of thing.
But the
Yeah,
beignet
that's
itself,
savory.
is the beignet itself sweet?
No,
No,
it's
it's
just
different.
dough.
Yeah.
So the
there's-
beignet-
It's just
the
fried
beignet is
dough. It's the powdered
sweetness
sugar that you
neutral.
would normally
It's
put on top
gender
of it.
neutral, and then
yeah.
depends what you put on it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
So yeah, it can be sweet or it can be savory. So and we've got, we also have this year we have, like Ruby Slipper's doing a bananas foster beignet, a couchon beignet, a tasso cream beignet, Loretta's.
Can't believe you didn't bring
Loretta's
us any
authentic
beignets.
pralines, but as she says, she's trying to do like Domino's and take out the pizza. She's just going to be Loretta's because she's been starting to do beignets. She's going to do a hamburger hot sausage beignet, a lump crab meat beignet, which I've had both of those and they're both amazing, a praline beignet, and a chocolate praline beignet. We have people.
What's the weed smoking situation down there? Beignet
Do it
Fest.
before you go.
Yeah, it
Sounds like you could
something-
really do pretty well if you were stoned as hell.
When is this
Absolutely.
again?
October 7th. It's it's
Next
like a week
week.
and a half.
It's
Yeah.
October 7th, which is a
Next
Saturday.
Yes.
October 7th,
It's City Park.
2017.
At City Park. Yes.
So if you listen to this after October 7th, 2017,
Mm-hmm.
and you'd like to go to next year's Beignet Fest,
Hopefully same place, same
where would we
same
go
time.
to? Is it beignetfest.com? The
BeignetFest.com.
word
Where
beignet
in
is
City
very
Park?
difficult to spell.
At the festival grounds near Christian Brothers, kind of where they have most of the festivals. Where No on Tap was this year.
It's like
They have
Voodoo?
Voodoo Fest.
Where
Yeah,
Voodoo
yeah,
is.
Where
Okay.
Voodoo is.
Are you guys as big as Voodoo?
No.
But
No,
it's in
we're
the
not.
same-
But it's in the same venue. I think Beignet. So there's kind of the way the area is set up. There's kind of like some tree breaks, and so we're kind of in one little area
And one
where
of
the
the
tree breaks.
bits where the
And-
main stage would be
Yeah.
normally. Okay.
Yeah, and so I think like Voodoo Fest like spans out
Yeah.
and goes past trees. We're just taking like a little.
Well, congratulations
bit of
on a success story by the sound of it.
Thank you.
It's pretty impressive.
It is.
Are you going to
We're
get
hoping
wealthy
to-
like, the Jazz Fest guys out of this? You'd be like Quint
probably
Davis
not.
driving around.
I
little
don't
golf
know if I'll
cart.
be possibly. I don't know if I'll be that successful. It's trying to make money off of it and to get things going. I think most of our focus with the cause is to try and raise money to go back into programs that help kids with autism.
Okay.
And so if we raise money, that's kind of
It's free. It's free to get into though.
it's free to get into.
I got a good
You
tip.
have to buy.
I have got a. You have to buy a
You have to
minimum.
buy food and beverage tickets.
Check this out, though.
Okay.
I've got a great tip for anyone who's listening to this, or you guys here at the table. I saw on the Beignet Fest website you can get a VIP pass for $50,
Yep.
50, and for that you get free beer all day.
All day. All day.
Think about that.
Complimentary beer, complimentary
How
cold
much
brew
is
coffee.
one beer?
One beer is $5.
Okay, so you drink 10 beers
Yes,
and
and
you
you're-
make it worth it.
You don't
Right.
have to even drink them all yourself.
There's
you can
mad
give,
guys.
you give them to your friend,
Yeah.
your wife Amy, or
Well, and the thing
You
is,
know?
to get in the VIP, it's 21 or over, and we're going to try everything you have to consume in the VIP area. You can't necessarily bring drinks out.
But
I see what you're trying to do there, but
still pretty good, isn't it?
It's still a pretty good deal.
$50
Because you
All
could bring
day,
food
free
in
beer.
if you wanted to. You're just
Right.
like, hold my beer, go grab some beignets, and come back.
and I'm sure it's covered, right?
Yeah, it's covered. It'll be a shade area. There'll be
and
some
you
high
get
bars.
bathrooms.
You get there's a dedicated bathroom there,
$50, and it's a
for
good
50
cause,
bucks.
and
Right.
it's probably a donation. It's a tax write-off, right?
Exactly.
Under the new Trump tax plan, I'm sure that's going to be acceptable write-off. Hey, listen, we have to hear a song from Ginger and the Bee before we go any
Absolutely.
further, or I'm going to be in a lot of trouble. So I'm already in a lot of trouble. But what sort of music do you? I saw this on my extensive research that Graham gave
it's
me.
kind of hard to define, but I've been describing it as almost a 90s alternative hybrid with pop culture or pop music today. Our friend Justin likes to call it pop music, and Scott will disagree with him until
It's popular music. I'll agree with that.
Popular music,
If
yes.
that's what pop stands for, I'm in. I'm not that guy.
Who's your friend Justin?
Justin, I think he's been on here the show before.
Oh, Justin Mollison.
That is the one.
I love that guy. He's great. He's a great musician and a very nice guy.
That's our keyboard player.
That's who
too.
got me to get this guitar.
This guitar.
Yeah.
This little tiny baby guitar.
Yep.
What is the deal with this little baby guitar?
It's as I've gotten to be older, or as I've gotten to be more experienced as a musician, that's the less I want to carry.
Right.
So instead of bringing more gear out, I want to bring less gear out, and this seemed to be
Is this a full-size guitar for grown-up people, or is this for little kids?
They
or
call
what
it a
is the
traveler guitar.
Okay.
But it's pretty full
Right.
for a guitar.
So it's an okay guitar, and it's tiny.
I think it's a good guitar, and it's tiny.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you have a record out, you two.
We do.
I see you touting it as a full-length album, although it only has 5 songs on it.
What, is that? There's no real definition, right?
Well, I was wondering what you were going to say about that.
That's what I'm going to say.
That's
where I'm sticking to it right now. There's
I
no
would
real.
say 5 songs is an EP.
It's a release. Is that proper enough to say? It's
hard to define, or it's hard to release music these days with the way that entertainment is
Yeah, you don't
consumed,
need
so,
10 songs.
Right.
Yeah.
We figure by the time you're done with those 5, we'll release another 5. And
Okay, and the album is just called the name of the band, Ginger and the Bee.
Yeah.
And you can get it on Spotify for nothing. That's where I listen to it today.
You can.
So you can totally steal it, no worries.
Certainly, if Napster's out there, I'm sure you can find it.
Napster.
I hope you can find it.
now you're showing your grade.
I was going to say, I haven't heard that even.
Come on.
Hey, listen, so what song are you going to do off of it?
The first song, I Quit.
I Quit.
I
Yeah.
Quit, okay.
It's more like a rockin' kind of song, but we're going to kind of do it.
Do an acoustic version?
A little, yeah.
Okay, are we good with the sound of the guitar? I think?
Caught a ride into the city, met up with friends. It was no biggie. The night was done and I let you in. Post a nightcap in the den. Morning started to show her face, still tangled up in your embrace. Don't wanna play this game. It's all starting to sound the same. You're here and then you're not. Empty hands are all I've got. Don't wanna say enough, I quit. 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 Forgot my A. That's right. We launched ourselves into the breeze. Summer bending at the knees. Fight the crashing waves until we find the shoreline standing still. Lounging in the sun all day, hoping that we'll always stay. Don't wanna play this game. It's all starting to sound the same. You're here and then you're not. Empty hands are all I've got. Don't wanna say enough, I quit. 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 The situation is not complicated. The longer you linger, the more you're hated. Don't wanna say enough, I quit. 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 Wanna play this game. Are bright, crashing down and it might the same. You're here and then you're not. I'm done, it's over, why can't you see? Don't wanna say enough, I quit. Don't wanna say enough, I quit. Don't wanna say enough, I quit. Don't wanna say enough, I quit.
Thank you. Great.
Thanks.
Thomas,
Bueno.
am I back? Yes, I'm back. That was great, you guys.
Thank you.
Awesome. What do you think? Allison?
Yeah, it's pretty.
You can hear it again at Beignet Fest this weekend.
Gretna
So,
Fest this
yes.
weekend you're playing. Okay, which is September the
September
30th.
1
Oh,
p.m.
that's awesome. 1 p.m.
Yep.
At Beignet Fest.
On the riverfront stage.
I wasn't expecting that at all. Were you expecting that, Alison?
No, I was expecting like a little more maybe punkish feel.
Yeah,
And,
right.
and it will be when we get there. So we also have our B Street band that plays with us in the background. So
The B
Scott-
Street
A
Band.
little less acoustic sounding.
That's right.
So Scott and I started writing music, just the two of us, and then we had this debate early on whether we would record it the way we can play it live, or if we just record it the way we wanted it to sound. And so we made the decision to record it the way we want it to sound, and we'll get there when it comes to playing live. And so we've recruited a handful of people. We've had a little bit of a rotation, and now we've got a pretty solid backing behind us.
Well, that's a good thing about
Yeah.
New Orleans is you can always find great musicians.
yes,
to check out.
absolutely. Yeah.
I saw this list of musicians that you're playing with. Are these people here? Justin Malayson, Ted Torres,
Yep.
Kit Keen, and somebody
Yes.
with the best name I've ever seen in my life,
And he
Woody
played
Dan Taggin.
Yeah. Woody played with us
How do
in
you
the
pronounce
beginning.
Our very
that?
first
Dan
show.
Tagnan.
Woody Dan Taggin.
Dan Tagnan.
Is that a great name or what?
Yeah. Yeah.
What does he play, Woody?
He played drums for us in the beginning, and actually Kit now plays
our
drums
drummer.
for us.
And
Kit.
actually,
Drum kit.
Yep.
Well, that makes
and
more
Justin,
sense.
Justin won't be with us this weekend. He's on a plane to London right now.
Is he really?
Yeah.
But Katerina Boudreau will be playing
Okay.
keyboards with us this weekend. So.
Right.
Okay, so where do you play otherwise? Do you play out in clubs and bars and so on?
Yeah. When
Where
we
do you-
can, yeah.
where do you play now?
We played
Or can we
at
see it?
Portside Lounge about a month ago, and we played at Southport Hall about a month and a half ago, a couple times.
I might be able to get you a gig at Beignet Fest.
That's what I was wondering about how that festival worked. If they had musical entertainment.
We've actually
do it.
written a song for Confetti Park Kids.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you ever hear the song Bumblebee, that
Bumblebee?
came from
Oh.
us. So.
How does that go?
It goes like Bumblebee, Bumblebee.
Yeah, it's
We
all-
can
it's
play
all-
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
You can play a little bit of it if you want to. Yeah, what the hell?
It's much shorter than I quit. I think.
I don't have to play the whole
But it's
thing.
exactly like what you think it is.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah.
And there's music at this Beignet Fest, right?
Yes, there
Okay,
is.
how's the
Absolutely.
Bumblebee song go?
Bumblebee, bumblebee, where is your honey? I need some honey for my honey. Bumblebee, bumblebee, where is your honey? Won't you have some honey with me?
Something like that.
Okay. Where's that from?
We wrote that.
Yeah, but I mean,
Jinx.
how do you know it?
What?
I mean, how did you know just
How do
how do you know that show?
So the people that they wrote it for was a kids band that played with at our festival yesterday, the Confetti Park Players.
Yeah.
Okay.
With Catherine Hobgood, Katie
Yes.
Hobgood.
Yep. Who
Okay.
also played roller derby. That's
Yes.
how we know each other.
Right,
so.
and she's been on Happy
So-
Hour as well.
So-
Okay. Well, that's small.
Yeah, she-
And Imagination,
Exactly.
I see the Imagination Movers are playing at the
Yes,
Beignet Fest
they're
this year.
playing this
That's
year.
a good move. If you want
yeah.
to get kids and their parents
Exactly.
to come along,
They're
good
kind of
thinking.
our noon headliner, kind
Yeah.
of kid-centric, kid time. We're going to have them there. We're going to start off with another little country band called the Hill Country Hounds. We're going to start off around 10:45. We have the One Love Brass Band going to play around 1:45.
Oh, they're an excellent band with
Absolutely.
Boyana.
And
Have you guys heard that band?
No.
That's
They're
pretty
a ska
very cool.
brass band.
Really?
They're pretty cool.
That's a very cool.
Yeah. I heard them. I actually heard them down like on the corner, a couple like around Christmas time at the one of the Fred Street fairs. They were playing out there, and I was like, "It's a really cool. I like their sound. I'm gonna have to ask them to come out." So, have them. We have the Brassaholics coming on around 3:15, and then we're gonna close out at 5 with Eric Lindell.
Eric Lindell at 5. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good lineup. Well, maybe next year,
Maybe next year.
Maybe
Absolutely.
Ginger and the Bee.
We're
Once that-
looking at the
Wink,
musical
Yeah.
booker. So.
Are you the
Definitely.
booker?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so
Did we
there it
pass?
is.
Did we pass?
This is
we'll
your
let you bring
audition.
the cup up. We'll let you bring the shaker cup
The
up.
shaker.
Yeah.
And I can do it on stage.
This is your
Awesome.
audition for Beignet Fest. So when is it going to be every year now at
Hopefully, yeah.
At City Park, that's the
yeah,
plan. Okay.
and that's kind of what we're planning on right
Who's
now.
calling?
Who's calling? So that is actually the supervisor
Lane? Does
for
it
my
say
song.
Lane?
It's Laura Freitag.
Laura
so
Freitag.
she
Another good name.
helps cover some stuff for them.
You can take the call if you want to.
Sure. Hold on one second.
Let's see what Laura. We'll put it on speakerphone so we can all help you.
Hello.
Very good.
Yes, this is. How you doing, Laura?
Isn't that
doing
funny?
pretty good?
Why wouldn't you? Do you answer the phone like that? Don't you just answer and say, "Hey, Laura," and you see?
I'm
What do you do,
doing
Sherri?
a radio thing right
It
now.
depends on who it is.
Do you say hello like you don't know who it is?
No, I just say hey.
But
Because
Alison, how do you answer the phone? Do you pretend you?
Yeah, probably like, hey, what's up?
I always say, "Hey, Scott."
But I always, when I do that, I end up confusing people. Like if I'm like, hey,
Because they
Grant,
know who
they're
they
like,
are.
who? What?
Oh,
I want to speak
you
to
look
Scott.
at it. Your eyesight's not that good.
No, when I say when someone calls that I know, I'm like, hey, what's going on? I won't say hello or anything like that. I'm just go, what's up?
Right.
Yeah.
And they're usually like, hello, Scott? Is that you? I'm like, yeah, it is. You called me. It is me. Why,
Interesting. What did she say, Laura? Anything good?
She wondered if I had time to talk, and I was like, yeah, give me 5-10 minutes.
Eventually, you will. So, Alison, how's business going with this
Well,
clothing? LouisianaLegs.
I need to do better at marketing, and that's kind of what
This is why you're here.
Yeah.
If we can't sell 1,000 outfits for you today,
I'm doing
I'll
a
be
pop-up
shocked.
shop at the Chop Yard after this. There's a
Today?
NOLA,
After
NOLA
this-
Yoga Tribe hosts a free yoga class at 6:30, and then
Okay.
I will be doing a pop-up shop after that.
Okay, so where is this exactly?
The Chop Yard, it's on Chapatulas.
Chapatulas
It's a
and
really
what?
cool, I think like
Do you know where it is?
Chapatulas.
Yeah, it's a really nice place.
It's a bar.
Chapatulas and 3rd, something like that.
Oh, it's in sort of down there in the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Irish Channel.
it's not that far.
It's
But
n-
it's a really cool little outdoor venue. If you haven't been, you should go check
I
it out.
don't know anything about
you
it.
get your beer or your margarita or whatever in these massive like chalices. Like you have to hold it with 2 hands and like drink from it. Because it's
Seriously?
like these big glass goblets. And they're really heavy, but they do have really good margaritas and a very good beer selection. But it feels like you're in somebody's backyard. There's picnic
Right.
tables, and they do have food. I keep forgetting what the food is that they have, but they have a food area.
Okay.
So there's food.
So this
there's
sounds like a
alcohol.
good place to say you have like a table there.
Yes, I will be setting up a little table of the leggings and all the different designs,
Okay.
and you can order your leggings there.
So you have to order them. You can't actually buy
I have
them.
a few that are on sale, but it's mostly because they're like kind of made to order. Because it's like I have so many designs that it's hard to have like every design
So it's
in
like
every
every size.
size. Yeah, so it's kind of like made to order, and then that way you get specifically what you want.
Okay, and you don't have to spend a lot of money making clothes that you're not going to sell,
the
right?
overhead for having them on display to sell would be a little too much. This is like a little side hustle, so I'm just
starting out
this.
slow.
Yes.
So you take the your own photos and put them on these things. So how much am I spending to buy like a top and a pair of, are they called pants?
So for the
I
yeah,
definitely want to see you in a top, Grant.
yeah, it's a little midriff
It's
top.
Christmas.
So for an outfit is I want to say like $83 with shipping. If you want just the bottoms are $60 with shipping, and then the tops are I want to say around like $33 with
When you
shipping.
say, I want to say, this is your own business, right?
Yes.
And you don't really know what they cost. Are you serious?
Well, because
You're
the
making it up.
prices might go up.
Prices
a
may
little bit
vary.
later.
You can
Yeah.
say that if you like. Prices may vary.
Prices may vary.
Why?
I'm starting because I'm just starting. So
Are you just figuring out what it costs?
yeah. Well,
Well, don't you know what it costs to make them?
No, so for the outfit, it's like 80. It's 83 with shipping.
83.
Yes, for a top and a bottom, it's 83 with shipping.
With shipping.
For the bottoms, it's 60 with shipping. But then I also have like shorts that I think are like they're 32 with shipping. It's all on Etsy.
How'd you come up with these wacky numbers?
Because
83 and 32.
Because it's what what they cost me to make, and then like a little bit extra.
Plus as a percent.
Yeah.
So you know what you're doing.
I'm not. I don't think really. I think if somebody would look at my business model, they would be like, charge a lot more for them.
Oh, really?
I've had people tell me that before, but
What is the percentage of markup you're supposed to make
you're
on these
supposed to
things?
do a 50% markup on whatever you're paying for them, and I'm definitely not doing that with
50%?
these. 50% markup at least.
Ah,
And I'm definitely
That's
not doing
retail.
that. Yes.
That's retail.
why aren't you? Well, because what's Pearl? You got the expert right here.
Pearl, I won't give away necessarily what the markup is. They
You
sell
can,
a lot
you
of
can
stuff
tell us, don't worry.
on this RP, but it's so you have a wholesale price, which is what it costs to make and have the item shipped for you. But then you sell it at retail, and from that cost, you're able to pay. Especially at Pearlist when they have suits and you have lifetime alterations. So you're paying for the alteration staff. You're paying for the staff to sell it to you. You're paying commissions. You're paying, and just your general overhead of having.
I can buy a suit at Pearl's and get lifetime alterations.
Yes.
I wasn't even aware of that. That might change things markedly. That would certainly save a lot of money. You would never have to buy another pair of pants.
Exactly.
You just keep as long
as the pants don't disintegrate, you can.
Well, what about that? I've never heard of that even.
Well, there's.
Do you know about that, Alison? Lifetime alterations? You ever heard that?
No, not that.
This could be a good thing to offer for your.
Well,
stuff.
I don't think you really want to alter. I couldn't make these bigger or really
you couldn't
make
take
these
them.
smaller.
Not really.
Grant, do you know how alterations work? It's not wider.
Not personally, but I like the idea of getting my clothes altered for free, rather than saying I can't fit in that anymore because I'm too fat.
Yeah, exactly. So, and to an extent, so
that's how it works, Thomas. Surely.
Yeah. I will say for
embarrassing. It's pretty embarrassing to walk back into Pearl's with all your clothes and say, "Listen, you're gonna have to make these another inch bigger."
It happens.
It does. People don't have any embarrassment about that.
No.
Uptown. Not too worried. This could be the biggest deal of your life. You need to talk to Sherwood after the show. Like right now, we got to go.
Suits are a little bit different from yoga.
But he marketed clothes. He marketed clothes for 10 years at Pearl's, where they're not screwing around.
It's a different business model, though. That's like business suits and all this. This is like
you've got to be able
you would
to
hope
learn
you would
something.
want to take your athletic wear in because you're working out in them.
Well, they're elastic, as well, right? Okay.
So, and then taking them in too, how far do you take them in before you just have to buy another pair? And that's kind of what we did too. Is like people buy, I bought all these, suits and stuff, but I've lost 50 pounds, and you're like, well, I'm gonna have to totally remake this pair of pants. It's gonna cost me
guys
more.
That come into Pearl's and say they lost 50 pounds.
There's some people. There are a couple people, one or two people who've come in who had, whether it was gastric bypass surgery or just had dramatic weight loss.
Wow.
And we worked with them, tried to alter it the best that we could within their constraints. But it's like trying, if you were a double extra large and you go down to medium, trying to make an extra large fit to a medium. Just it's not cost effective.
Right, it'll look pretty stupid.
It's just.
I bet you don't miss that bullshit.
Not especially, but it's.
Well, Sherwood Collins, thank you for being with us. We've got to get out of here.
Thank you.
The co-founder, along with your wife, Amy Boyle Collins.
Absolutely.
Beignet Fest, which is going to be what date exactly? Saturday,
October 7th, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. at City Park, the festival grounds, 4 Friedrichs Avenue.
It's totally free.
Totally free.
Unless you want to spend $50.
Unless you want to spend $50 and get the VIP treatment, but
free
then
beer
all the
all day. Free beer all day, by the way.
Exactly. And all the
Not
food and drink.
all.
No outside food or drink, but you buy food and beverage tickets to pay for the different food and drink that you have.
Well, good luck with it this year. I think we're going to have to come down and check it out.
Hopefully.
And Alison Moon, thanks for being a guest on your own show. How great. And good luck. And we can find your stuff it's called LouisianaLegs.
Yes, I'm on Etsy, Instagram, and Facebook. You can order on Etsy and then check out photos of all the designs on Facebook and Instagram.
And let me give you a hint that LouisianaLegs is one word.
Yes.
If you're looking for Louisiana
and
space
spelled
legs.
correctly.
It's a different
Spelled
site.
correctly.
Is that a different site altogether?
LouisianaLegs on Etsy is something else that sells furniture, I think, or something.
Is it? Oh.
I just looked at that before we came here today.
Oh.
Yeah, so check that out. LouisianaLegs, one word. Thank you so much, Alison, for coming.
Thank you.
And Scott Frilo and Sherri Montz, otherwise known as Beatrix Skiddo.
Close enough.
Something
Just call me B.
What was it? What was your real? What was the Beatrix name?
Beatrix Skiddo.
Beatrix.
Yes, Beatrix.
Like Beatrix Potter.
Yes.
Is that right? Okay. Thank you so much for joining us, but collectively known as Ginger and the Bee.
That's right.
Which you can find on Spotify and anywhere else you steal music.
iTunes.
iTunes.
You got to pay for it on
No
iTunes.
one's going to buy that. Don't even think that you're going to sell any records. Is it only $5?
$5.
Oh, that's not bad.
No, $5.
And you get the money.
$5.
Can you buy it off your website? Is
You
there
can.
a website?
Gingerandthebee.com.
Gingerandthebee.com. And I bet it's an awesome website, given that that's what you do for a living. Thank you, guys. Thank you all so much for joining us. That's Happy Hour for another week. The producer of our show this week, as always, is Graham DePonte. Our associate producers are April Stolf, who sat in for me last week. Thank you so much, April. And the fabulous Alison Moon, who's sitting across from me today. Our music director is Christian Unruh, and Jean Valois as our music producer. Thomas Walsh is our technical director, and Asher Griffith as our live feed director, who put this whole thing on Facebook. Our fact checker and social media connector is Andrew Sirock. Our theme music was written by and is currently being played by Mitch Foreman. If you'd like to be on our show and you can stay upright while drinking alcohol for about 60 minutes, drop us a line. Our address is on our website. It's neworleans.com, where you can also check out many other previous hours of happy hours that are up there, as well as some other shows we make here, including Out to Lunch with Peter Raschuti live from Commander's Palace, and Louisiana Eats with Poppy Tooker. You can find other great Louisiana podcasts as well at itsacadiana.com and it's batonrouge.la. You can get up with us on Facebook and Twitter and a bunch of other time-sucking social media as well. And all of it we're called It's New Orleans. You can find photos from this show on itsneworleans.com and on our Facebook page. These photos were taken, some of them were taken by you, Alison, today. But mostly by April Love Stolf. What do we call you? April Love or April Stolf or April Love Stolf? I guess you can find April too pretty much anywhere on Facebook. If you're listening to this on your favorite podcast app, thanks for subscribing to us. Take a moment to rate and review us. That does actually help other people find us. Our show is recorded live today at Wayfare on Ferret Street in Uptown New Orleans. Happy Hours, a production of INO Broadcasting for itsneworleans.com. Andrew Duhon is on the road. You can find him in a town near you or at andrewduhon.com. From him and everyone else around the table here at Wayfare and back at our office at INO Broadcasting, thanks so much for joining us. I'm Grant Morris. We'll see you back here next week on Happy Hour. Okay, guys. Joke's over. Good job.
Venus, your style guide for fun, sexy style, is getting you ready for shorter days and cooler weather during the annual Venus Fashion Week event. The new Venus Fall Fashion Collection has arrived, and it's a perfect time to get amazing deals on new styles that have made Venus famous, from weekdays at the office to weekends on the town. Shop hundreds of new fall styles and get $15 when you spend $100, $30 off when you spend $150, and $50 off when you spend $200 or more. Just go to Venus.com or download the Venus app and use the promo code SWEATER to save during the last days of Venus Fashion Week.